What's happening? Oh my god, oh my god.
Let me just fix this one flower. Oh god! What are you doing?
Holy.
No! Stop! Why are you cutting your hair?
Oh my god.
Why did I cut my hair? Why did you let me cut my hair? Okay. Where? Just on the side? No!
What is going? Wow, my ears. That was so much screaming. That honestly was a scene from a horror movie. That was terrifying. There was so much yelling. There was screaming. She was acting like she was possessed by a demon. If you don't like your hair, I get it. I hated my prom hair, and I remember like trying to fix it like right before, and I was like, I just have to leave it. You know, bite the bullet. Don't cut it. Do not cut it. Who let her have a pair of scissors in her hands? It's a risky game. Anyone doing something different in place of the garter and bouquet toss? Yeah, because I think those are so tacky. Anyways, I'm thinking to do a white rose giveaway to all my single women attendees to remind them they can maintain purity during the single/engagement season. What? Yo, I'm not going to that wedding. If you do this at your wedding, I'll literally just pretend that I'm not single. If you do this, if I hear you announce that you're doing this for all the single women to be pure, I'm just gonna pretend I'm with someone. There's no way. No way I'm partaking in this nonsense.
Am I the for not giving my cousin Mike a +1 to my wedding because his girlfriend smells like eggs? What the Well, Mike just found out he's the only close family member not getting a +1. When he pressed me on the issue, I told him that she smelled. He yelled at me and called me some unpleasant things before saying if she wasn't coming, then neither was he. Yeah, I do think that that's the move, cause she smells like eggs? I don't know, man. Why does she smell like eggs, first of all? But I don't think you should not invite somebody because they smell like eggs. And also, I understand why Mike was a little annoyed by that, especially if he's the only close family member not getting a +1. She's clearly being singled out and she probably wants to know. Also, I don't blame people who, if they're going to a wedding and then they don't get a +1, that's okay also. You don't have to give anybody a +1. You don't want a bunch of randoms at your wedding, that's totally fine. But I also don't blame somebody if they don't get a +1 for not going because their spouse isn't invited. I also don't blame that. I can see both sides on that issue.
To secure your spot in our wedding party, the following things will be required. A promise to host a party at a venue other than someone's house. Your wedding gift must be cash/check of at least $500. You must buy me or blank, depending on which side you're on. Day of gift of at least $100. You must attend every shower/party we have and will be required to purchase a gift for each one, value of $50. You will sign a contract that holds you legally responsible for meeting all of our requirements and says that if you do not, you will legally be held responsible to reimburse us for the time we wasted. Okay, I'm not going to this wedding. I'll tell you that. Who reads this and is ooh, I want to secure my spot in this wedding party? I would cut off a friendship with someone who sends me this nonsense. Searching for a photographer for my wedding, here are my requirements. Must be willing to do the job for free. Must have at least 8 years of experience. Must be at the wedding all the time, no breaks. Bring your own food and drinks. Who's gonna do this? Who is going to do this? If I have 8 years of experience, there's no way I'm doing a job for free. Let me tell you that. I've built my resume with 8 years of experience, so you can shove that up your butt. No breaks, illegal. Bring your own food and drinks, absolutely not. I'm eating the food they provide and the free bar. It's happening.
I was a maid of honor and her best friend and roommate, but since I'm ugly, she wouldn't let me be in any pictures.
Excuse me? Who decides if you're ugly?
What?
What do you mean? That's crazy. You were maid of honor too. Maid of honor, and it's too ugly. Excuse me?
But how do you have to choose this person to be your maid of honor?
That's
so
just
how do you
insane.
choose this person and then decide, but you can't be in any of the pictures? What?
Put a bag on your face.
You can be my maid of honor. I feel like my sisters would be very bothered by that, but that's okay. Please arrive 15 to 30 minutes early. Do not wear white, creamy, or ivory. Do not wear anything other than basic bob or ponytail. Please do not have a full face of makeup. Do not record during the ceremony. You spelled it wrong. Do not check in on Facebook until instructed. Use blank when posting all pictures. Do not talk to the bride at all, in caps. Everyone will toast with rummy, no acceptance. Lastly, must come with a gift of $75 or more if you want to be admitted in. What is this, a nightclub? What do you mean admitted in? Is there gonna be a bouncer at the door? If I don't show my gift receipt, this is so stupid. Do not talk to the bride at all. It's like, why am I even there to celebrate the bride if I can't talk to her? It's so stupid. I met this woman once at a wedding where we were both bridesmaids. Apparently the bride told her my gift was generous, so she wanted me to be her bridesmaid too to cash in. That's a hard pass. I'm wondering now why her other bridesmaids dropped out. So literally, like, this person has no interest in standing in your wedding. They literally said, I'm not trying to be rude, I figured you'd ask one of your sisters or cousins. We've only met once at a wedding. So you asked this person to be a bridesmaid in your wedding because their gift at the wedding you saw them at was generous? That's weird. Like, that is so creepy in a sense. Like, I don't know you. Why would I stand in your wedding?
My closest cousin, the closest thing I have to a sibling, has officially confirmed I won't be her maid of honor because I'm too fat for a maid of honor role. Have to lose some weight before December or no maid of honor duties for me. I shan't be attending the wedding. What is with everybody on having a weight limit for their wedding? This, like, is that not the weirdest thing you've ever heard? It's just so strange. I just feel like there's so many other things to worry about on a wedding day and like in planning a wedding. I don't even know how your mind goes there. It's just insane. Also, like, no. I love this person. Yeah, I shan't be attending the wedding. I love it. I wouldn't either.
Do you want to expand your skills in a new and fun field, meanwhile gaining valuable experience? I know where this is going. They're basically asking for flowers for free. I have one in a lifetime opportunity for you to work for these amazing solo wood flowers. I'm looking for someone to make some beautiful bouquets for my wedding. I will provide all of the supplies and you provide your skills. This is solely for you to expand your skills and gain valuable experience. Okay, I'm not able to provide any additional compensation. Yeah, I don't think you got contacted by anyone. That's gonna be a hard pass for me. I'm exhausted, I'm bone tired, my heart is not the same, it's cold, fragmented, empty. I need to get away from this awful society. How hard would it have been to effing donate, friends? Do I matter to you? Just effing give me money for my wedding. I won't even sugarcoat. I won't even pretend that's not what I wanted. It was for a dream. I was stabbed, cheated on, and worked. Goodbye, see you in 2 months. Friendly reminder to you blank. Don't think you own me, I am cutting all of you snakes off. I am living my life alone. Okay, this is just stressful. I've never actually been to a wedding that was like cash only. I feel like that's so tacky. Ladies, I'm one of those crazy people getting married during a health pandemic. Whether you agree with it or not, that's not the point. I'm looking for a DJ for my wedding. My budget is small-ish, and I've already spent most of it on my dress, dream shoes, decor. Yes, I'm that girl. Oh God, don't try to justify it. All right, so basically they are looking, DJ's looking for work. This is what it is, location. I have a good mix. I'm looking for a steal of a deal. Payment, which is nothing. So what's in it for the DJ? Free publicity. Great, I'm a town clerk. Cool, all right, we don't need to read the rest. So basically, yeah, wants to hire a DJ for free publicity because they're a town clerk. That's gonna be a hard no.
So who is that guy? Who is that guy that you met? Which guy? Are you whining us? He's just a friend. And you're kissing his.
Oh my God.
That's so embarrassing for him.
Yeah.
What about me?
I'm just wondering why the ex was at the wedding.
Right?
I'm sorry, but what is the ex doing there? I'm confused. How do you kiss an ex on a wedding day? Why is your ex anywhere near you on your wedding day?
And it kind of takes two people to do that. Like, why of all days?
The ex wants to show up.
Couldn't you have at least gotten that out of your system the day before? Like,
Maybe when you were dating?
that's an idea.
So with my wedding, were you still coming? Because I was thinking maybe you shouldn't. But you cried today just because some lady had a baby is just a bit dramatic and lots of people don't know yet because apparently you aren't ready to tell people. I think if you don't tell people, you shouldn't come. Like, I'm trying to be as nice about this as I can, but everyone will be asking why you aren't pregnant and I don't want them distracted from making me feel special. So the person wrote back, okay, I need a minute to process what the F you just said to me. So let me get this straight. You don't want me at your wedding because the fact that my baby effing died might ruin your day. Yeah, that's a bad one. Like what?
What? What the f?
It takes a special kind of person to do
Right.
something like that.
This person would not be in my life. Like I wouldn't be at their wedding day and they just would not be in my life after this conversation.
That is selfishness at its finest.
That's terrible.
What?
That's terrible.
You are a horrible person.
Absolutely. Like not even a good friend, but like not even a decent human.
Just no. Bad. Bad all around.
So one of my good friends is 5'10", we will call her Elle, and my cousin and her cousin is getting married. Now said cousin is 5'11" and apparently has some height issue. She starts by telling my friend and her other 7 bridesmaids that no one can be taller than her and she'll be wearing 2-inch heels, so prepare appropriately. That's fine, Elle. Decides she'll wear flats. Okay, we're gonna fast forward. This is all about height. Bride goes into a rant about how it's her day and her version of this small request to freaking get over it. I'm skipped to the very bottom. As of yesterday, this is all about height and who can be taller. As of yesterday, she told Elle and short bridesmaid that they were ruining her day and that one of them had to drop out of the wedding party and that she would let them decide which one of them were a real friend to her and which one of them was a fake friend. Honestly, I'm so happy I didn't read that whole paragraph because this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my entire life. I cannot imagine being like, no one can be taller than me, here's my height, there's my heels, you have to wear flats because you can't be taller than me. Is height really that important? We weren't allowed to talk directly to the bride. Her mom and maid of honor were the only ones allowed to. What?
What's the point of going to the wedding then?
Tell the bride congratulations even though I see her right there.
Going to that wedding would literally be like the same thing as going to watch a movie.
Yep.
Like you can't talk to the actor.
That's the worst. And you're giving them an envelope of money or a gift.
You're buying a gift for someone you can't talk to. What?
That's crazy. That is the definition of entitled. So apparently they had to sign a contract vowing to these things. We wouldn't get any fake tans because no one was allowed to be more tan than she was. Also no tan lines allowed. No false lashes. Her lashes had to be the longest. No teeth whitening done. Her smile was to shine the brightest. $400 bridesmaid dress and $100 shoes plus $250 rented jewelry we had to buy on our own despite the fact her family was loaded and I was so broke. That's, first of all, I'm not going out to anyone's wedding without a spray tan, I'll tell you that right now. I am not going to a wedding without a spray tan. You're crazy. That's crazy.
But what happens if you're already more tan than she is?
Or what if your teeth are just naturally more white? What are you gonna do? Not have me in your wedding? You crazy?
And the quota to meet for your dress and your
I couldn't
shoes
afford
and
that
your
life.
$250 worth of jewelry. What kind of metal detector are you trying to set off?
Literally.
That's a lot of jewelry.
So these 2 girls I know that have been friends for approximately 20 years are having I acted out the little symbol there, are having their weddings on the same day, separate locations, and 2 different people, by the way. Okay. Bride A is having a surprise wedding and has invited all of her friends and family over for a late 30th birthday party where she and her beloved will tie the knot in their backyard. Invitation sent with RSVP. Bride B is having a super extravagant wedding of the century and sent out the invitations for the same day as their friend, Bride A, late 30th birthday party. And yes, Bride B is in the know and actually supposed to be a surprise bridesmaid in Bride A wedding. Obviously not happening. What? Why would Bride B do that? Also, a surprise wedding? I've never heard of that before. Would you be down?
Nope.
Would you be down for that? If I thought I was going for a 30th birthday party and it turns out to be a wedding, I'd feel terribly underdressed. I would wear very different things to those events. But like, why would Bride... I'm just gonna say it, I don't think they're friends anymore. That's like worse than like, she threw a party on the same day as my party. A wedding on the same day as my wedding. Not good.
Went to a wedding that was a dry wedding only. Okay, ew, that freaking sucks.
Nope.
She refused to let anyone bring alcohol and the wedding was in the middle of nowhere. The wedding was several hours before the reception. There was absolutely nothing to do. There was no entertainment, no food, no drinks. We had to wait 4 hours plus for them. Then the bridal party shows up and they had alcohol for themselves. Our entire group left.
As you should.
Bro, no food, no alcohol, no drinks, and no entertainment? What am I doing? Am I looking at the wall?
In the middle of nowhere. Like, I'm imagining like the desert or something.
Don't waste my time like that. Yeah, like let's just look at the clouds.
Yeah, what? I'm sorry. You waited 4 hours. Good on you for waiting that long.
I would have left.
I wouldn't have waited like 40 minutes.
Yeah, I'd be out. Don't waste my time.
As
That's
soon
a
as I find out
waste.
there's no food coming, I'm like, nah. I used to work at a jewelry store. This young guy, college age, came in one day looking for engagement rings. Very polite, asking good questions. You could tell he'd been considering this for some time. As I'm helping him and showing him some of the rings in his budget, she walks in wearing a t-shirt from the high school senior class from the previous year, and she comes over by him. Oh my god, were you seriously considering that ring?
Oh.
It's so ugly. Besides, it looks just like my last engagement ring. How I wish I could have told him to dump her, run for the hills, and don't look back.
Bro, she's in senior of high school and she's already been engaged before? What the heck?
What in the life choices?
Yeah, what is... What? There's a lot wrong with this
There's a lot to
situation.
unpack.
I hope he ran for the hills on his
sincerely
own.
hope so.
Be on your way. You have a long life ahead of you and you do not need her in it.
Wow. Entitled.
Forget her, man. You don't need her. You don't need that.
Friday and Saturday, June 18th and 19th, we will be hosting our wedding ceremony and reception. Please do not camp here. We have an entire guest list arriving for the weekend to celebrate, so if you decide to anyways, we will set up around you and do it anyway. Make sure you have a gift and a dish for the barbecue. Can you zoom in a little more for the last part? What is this nonsense? P.S. This will be a loud music late night type of wedding, so if you're here, expect that. There will be 50 of us. Thanks for understanding. Okay. That was so hard to read, number one, but if you rented it, different story, but if you're just like trying to claim that as your own and being like, we're showing up here for my wedding, so don't camp here, I don't think that's how it works. But hey, if you were camping there, you would just get to basically wedding crash.
Wedding band member here had a bride flip her ish at me and my bandmates because our instruments weren't white or salmon colored to fit in with the decorations, and she was saying we would ruin the photographs, even though I was playing during the reception and all the photos were already taken. A sunburst jazz bass, blue Stratocaster, and a red drum set aren't going to ruin your pictures, darling.
That's pathetic.
That's nitpicky.
If you hire a band, you'd be like, but it has to be white instruments, all white or salmon. I'd be like, okay, we'll find another band.
I mean, white you can find. Salmon? Very specific.
It's crazy. And it is not gonna ruin your pictures. No one's looking at the band. No offense to the band.
If you are in the picture, they're gonna look at you.
Absolutely. I once worked in a bakery and we had this bride freak out that her cake wasn't right and proceeded to smash it to bits with her fist. She smashed the wrong cake, like WTF. Anyways, the cops allowed her to wash her hands before placing her in handcuffs. I felt bad for the future husband and the couple that ordered that cake. People are cray cray.
Oh my gosh, Bridezilla at her finest.
Yeah, people are cray cray. Can you imagine being the person who made that cake for hours and being like, first of all, you smashed the wrong cake, so now they have to remake hers probably and the one they smashed. Rude. What a waste of cake. That pisses me off.
That wedding just did not happen. Like, you got arrested to get married.
I'm just more concerned about the waste of cake.
Well, that too.
That's rude. I would have eaten it.
Had a friend that got married to a girl that wanted an open relationship. This normally means we have stuff with other people while the other is not around. To her, this meant having another boyfriend move into the house.
Oh. We're like,
I don't think that's how that works.
I mean, yeah, like if he was on board with it, fine. But by the sounds of it, it's like
Definitely not
she wanted that.
Yeah. I
Weird.
mean, great for the rent because you get to split it.
But at what cost, you know?
I think I'd rather live alone.
Right?
No one's allowed to wear heels because she didn't want anyone to tall her. No fake eyelashes again. Okay, no fake eyelashes. They had meetings twice a week for at least 3 hours each time, 6 months prior. Oh my god. Everyone in the bridal party had to recite the rundown schedule. Oh my god. Screamed at all the bridesmaids all day long behind the scenes of the wedding day. That sounds great. That sounds like a good time. The minute someone tells me 6 months prior that I have to be at these meetings, I'd be out.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
What are you having a meeting about? That's what I want to know.
That's crazy.
3 hours. For what? Oh, there's so much nitpickiness. Some people just really should not get married.
Yup.
Honestly,
Or exist.
Throw away, throw yellow. Okay. I'm a wedding photographer and I see this all the time. Guests are forced to be in the blaring sun with no water or beverages. Brides don't think about the guest's experience. Usually by the time it's all said and done, the guests are often done after the ceremony and peace out after the meal. Honestly though, that's like kind of not surprising. I like get it because like obviously the bride and groom are like the focus, but at the same time, like I feel like my goal, if I was to have like a big wedding with like lots of people and stuff, would be for everyone to leave being like, that was a great wedding. Because like weddings can be so fun, but they can also be the absolute worst. Oh, just in the sun, no beverages. That's all I want is beverages. At a wedding, all the beverages. I've officially dropped out of the bridal party. I'm a size 12 with no plans on dropping to a size 8 by December. Just a few things to ask. I handpicked all the dresses and bridesmaids that will be there and they will all be a size 8. So if you're not a size 8, I recommend hitting the gym, no offense. What the hell? That's so weird. That's the weirdest thing. I also would drop out of the bridal party. Like regardless, even if I was like, what if somebody's like a size 6 or a size 4?
Sorry, we only carry sizes 1, 3, and 5.
Now they gotta wear a dress that's too big too? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
What reality you live in?
Not everyone is just the same size. That's weird. That's weird behavior. That's just weird. Like, why? 8 is so random too. I don't know, man. I don't even know what to say on this one. I would drop out too, just because that's a weird rule. I'd be like, who am I supporting here?
My brother's fiance went off on my mom in front of me and my sister when he was 45 minutes late to the rehearsal due to his best man's car tire blowing out. Where's your a-hole of a son? Dude should never showed up for the wedding. Not only a Bridezilla, but a total utter sociopath. Her life is completely fabricated and her parents, who didn't show up for the wedding, called my mom to tell her the truth about it the day after. She had a rap sheet a mile long and a prison record, but my brother, who just wanted to believe that people can change, stuck it up for 7 years. Don't do that. Don't ever do that.
I mean, they said it best. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. Ever. 7 years? To stick it out for 7 years is a long time. To like really just be trying to get through it, you know?
Just this statement alone had a lot of red flags. Yeah. So to think of all the red flags that you must have seen over that 7-year period.
Yeah, the prison record.
Still wanted to marry this person?
Set me over the edge there.
My God.
Desperate much?
Us, the bridesmaids, did everything from dragging 250 chairs and setting them up, to hauling furniture down 2 flights of stairs, positioning it in other places. During the wedding, I learned that the bride and groom were trying to avoid all of the setup. Toward the end of the party, almost everyone had left, and I realized that 2 of the groomsmen were so drunk that they were going to be useless, and it would again be on the bridesmaids to clean up and put all the furniture back up the stairs. I went to tell the bride goodbye. Yeah, I can imagine. Like, I do get it as like the bridal party and stuff like that, and also like the groomsmen and all of that, like they should help with the setup and the well, I mean, should I use lightly, but like, you know, it makes sense that the bridal party helps, but like wouldn't also, I'm so hands-on, like I would be the one who's like there making sure everything's how I want it to be. I'm not leaving things up to anyone else. I would be stressed. I would be so stressed. I want to be involved. What if I show up and the furniture isn't where I want it to be? You know? I don't know, maybe that's just me, but that is kind of rude. I'm talking 5 solid hours of crafting for the bride's decorations at her house that should have been completed months ago. The bride was also super drunk and wasn't even being gracious about it. She was literally calling us dumb bleep. I never spoke to her again after I left her wedding. Yeah, I can imagine. If, like, weddings suck. like, well, weddings don't suck. The preparation for weddings suck. It's a lot of work, so many little dainty things to do, like, you know, it's a lot of work regardless. Even if you have a ton of money and can just buy everything, it still can be a lot of work. Just like harassing your bridesmaids while they're helping you though, and insulting them and calling them rude things, just seems unhinged. Like, there's no like, oh, she was stressed, that can like cover this behavior, you know?
I need you to make a custom centerpiece for each of the 20 tables. If each one could be a separate Disney villain, I would die. And oh, could you also do a cake topper? It's next week, but we finalize blah blah blah. Actually, each wood carving takes approximately 3 to 5 hours of work. Painting takes another hour depending on detail. I could probably manage a cake topper, but definitely don't have time to make 20 centerpieces, I'm sorry. You're kidding, this is such short notice, what are we going to do? Then the person wrote, am I missing something? You just asked me now a week before the wedding. I had no idea you were planning on using my art. Then the person, the bride, is going off being like, I'm stressed, I'm the bride. They said, God, you clearly don't understand the stress and pain that it takes to plan a wedding, do you? No, but I also think you should have asked me way in advance. Okay, good. So they uninvited them in the end. Great. Worst coworker ever, uninvited. Worst bride ever. You can't actually ask someone to do that a week before your wedding. For every table at your wedding, carve a centerpiece. Are you insane? You do it if it's so easy.
Am I the for telling the bride that it is too expensive for her bridal party to spend $2,000 to $5,000 for a bachelorette plus her costs plus pay for other bridal events? No, you are not. That's insane. That's insane. I totally get, like, some people like to go lavish for their like parties and all of that stuff, which is, you know, fine. But I feel like if you want to spend thousands of dollars on a party, you also shouldn't expect anyone else to pay for your own costs. And like, you should keep it to just the one event. And you also shouldn't be upset when people can't afford to spend that much money. Like, that's an insane amount of money for one party. And some people can, which is fine, and they should do that. And other people can't, which is also fine, and they should not do that. The groom sent every guest a mail asking who needed babysitter at the wedding for the night. I answered that we would not need, as we will have to put our 3 children to bed at 10 or 11 p.m. He texted me angrily that it was not acceptable not to stay at least until 1 a.m. and that he would prefer me not to come rather than us leaving the dinner early. First of all, who's eating dinner till 1 a.m.? Like, no way, Jose, I'll be hungry long before then. I told him that we wouldn't come if he preferred, and he immediately canceled my room booking. What a psychopath. That's just so weird. Ew, that's so weird. Also, yeah, sorry, I don't want a stranger that you've organized looking after my children. Thanks, but no thanks. Also weird, just weird. What if I don't want to stay till 1? Now I'm suddenly a bad friend because I'm leaving at 10 or 11? No. Thank God he canceled your room booking because he also canceled that friendship.
I was at the wedding of an ex-boyfriend several years ago, and he had planned and practiced singing, that should say singing I think, a Frank Sinatra song to his new wife. He went up and took the mic and, with the band backing him up, began singing the song. Cute. His new wife suddenly stomped across the dance floor and up on the stage, grabbed the mic from him and said, I hate that effing song and I don't want to hear it. They were divorced about a year later.
Why they weren't divorced about a minute later, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised by the outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
Like, even if it wasn't your favorite song, let it happen. Enjoy, appreciate the effort and how sweet that is, and then in your head be like, I hate this effing song. Who cares?
Man, ungrateful, honestly.
Honestly, I'll marry these men for you. Rude. Just all of them. I'll be a great wife to all of you.
My friend is having her wedding this fall, but she can't afford it, so she is trying to get her friends to work for free. After a month of begging and repeated texts, I give up and quote her that the cake she wants will be $400. I was getting her a $100 gift for her wedding, so if she doesn't want the gift, I'll charge her $300. She got upset, saying she can't afford it and she's only willing to pay $100 for it. I lost my temper and told her she doesn't deserve a nice wedding if she can't pay people what they're worth and hung up. I mean, it's true. I have sympathy, you know, for not being able to afford all of the things that you want. I can understand that, you know, that's not the best situation to be in. But also, your misfortune doesn't have to be everyone else's misfortune as well. You know, there are other ways around it. You can also just postpone your wedding and save up. You could just not have this big fancy wedding at all.
I'll never consider that.
There are just other options other than being a bad friend, but maybe that's just me and my opinions. Married a Bridezilla. In the 18 months we were married, she was such an unfit mother, too many instances to list here, that when the divorce was finalized, I got custody of our kid and the kid she had prior to our marriage. Yeah, that really says a lot. That really says a lot. And also, shout out to you for just, you know, being a good dad or mom. I'm like, I don't really know, to be honest with ya. 18, and they were only married for 18 months too, which like is longer than some marriages, but really not long in the world of marriage. I'll tell you that for sure. Barred lover. I just want to say that out loud. Not a bridemaid, but a witness to one. Okay. The bride got walked out on by her entire bridal party except her maid of honor. Of course, it was because no one loved her and everyone wanted to ruin her day, of course. Not because she ripped a bridesmaid's dress from the neck down in an open area because it was too white. It was the dress the bride insisted on all the maids wearing. Of course! Of course! Of course it is. That's always how it goes. I love when I just don't get it, maybe because I have never been married, but like, I just don't get why the bride even chooses the bridesmaids' dresses. Why can't they just choose their own dress? They can all pick together if they want, or they can just be like, this is the color, make it this color, that's it. I just never got that, but maybe I'm just not traditional enough.
Okay, so the bride stopped talking to me immediately after her wedding because I had a terrible cold the day of her wedding and had to go rest in my room halfway through setting up her wedding decorations, which we bridesmaids made without her help. Hold up, so like that was... Dude, get out of here. Literally get out of here. Like, I get it, you're the bride, it's your wedding day, but like, come on, your friend is sick right now, she's trying to get through this. I guarantee if this was like not your wedding, not something so serious, she wouldn't even be going. You know, it's like she'd probably be calling in sick to work right now, so like, just chill.
I shouldn't have come.
However, it starts with however, so something must have gone on here before. However, after the ceremony was over and the party had only just started, one of the bridesmaids decided to announce her own engagement. Okay. The attention was immediately taken away from the newlyweds and brought to the bridesmaids, who I'll call Sarah, and her equally smug fiancé. My cousin's wife, I'll call her Emma, didn't make a scene or utter a single negative word about Sarah. She looked like she was on the verge of tears, but she kept grinning and acted very happy for the other couple. Sarah later picked Emma to be the maid of honor at her own wedding, which took place last weekend. This is where the fun begins. Ooh, I'm excited. Emma announced in front of everyone that she was 5 months pregnant and that she just discovered the baby was a boy, hence the blue petals. The last slide, her ultrasound picture. There were shocked yells and gasps. Sarah had a fit, but those involved in the scheme cheered so loudly. Apparently, Sarah had been very nasty to her bridesmaids before, driving several of them away and forcing the others to pay ridiculous amounts of money for dresses. Classic. Yeah, it's just like, unless you're like really close with the like bride and groom and you've like triple checked with them first, it's so like rude. Like, these people spend all of this money on an event and you're gonna be like, and we got engaged. Like, it's not your engagement party, you know, like Instagram is for that. If you want to announce your engagement so badly. Like, it's just not the place unless you've like explicitly talked about it and like you're for sure on the same page. I don't know, it's kind of petty and it's really the long game, which I appreciate.
She had a bachelorette party the same weekend as my birthday, but we weren't allowed to do anything for my birthday on the trip, not even mention it. Well, on my actual birthday, some of my friends got some balloons and a little cake from the hotel. They tried to keep it a secret, but Bridezilla came into the room, saw everything, went completely silent, then walked out, pissed. Well, Bridezilla, I will not be attending your wedding anymore. Why can this not be a joint affair right now? It's like, oh yeah, also my birthday, like, you're getting married. Hopefully that only happens once, you know? So it's like, yes, I understand, like, this is the big thing that we're doing, but my birthday comes along once a year. Like, can we not get a few shots, celebrate, and have some cake while you're doing that? No.
this is when we started to clash. She would request entire weekends off to get bridesmaid dress to go bridesmaid dress shopping together. When I did make it, she looked at dresses in the 500 plus range. Next, she talked about having an out-of-state bachelorette party. On top of that, she still expected wedding gifts from her bridesmaids. I expressed my concerns regarding the commitment and money expectations, but she said other girls could do it. I'd be like, that's great. I'm talking about me, so I don't know what you want me to do. She couldn't understand my budgeting. She would call me to express her disappointment and pretty much start complaining about me. I was in shock and I didn't know what to say. Her final saying, let's see this next bridesmaid dress shopping goes and I'll let you know if I still want you in the party. I texted her saying that I don't need to be judged or evaluated and to have a good life. I was done with these ridiculously high expectations for her wedding. Yeah, honestly, I feel like I wouldn't have even gone that far. Like if somebody's calling me to express their disappointment in me and like just complain, I would be like, okay, I don't need this. If you're so disappointed and want to complain, like go complain to somebody else. Don't call me. I'm busy, man. Also, I'm an adult. Like why? My friends don't need to be disappointed in me. You know? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong for feeling that. But like if I did something wrong and they want to confront me, for sure. But if they're disappointed because I'm not going to spend like $2 grand on their wedding, sorry, I'm busy. I have a job.
The final straw for me was when the bride demanded to see the toast I'd written so she could edit it. She ended up rewriting it all together and I ended up skipping her wedding. Like I think I can understand it, like a toast just being like, hey, like just to tell you, I don't want to write this for you, but like my family, my grandparents are gonna be there, so like maybe leave that story out about like how we were doing that thing, which they wouldn't like, you know. I can understand something like that. But to go in, to edit it, to rewrite it, no. Like you're lucky I'm taking the time to even write this for you at all, you know?
You should be grateful.
I didn't marry the Bridezilla, but I had coordinated her wedding. We had a death in the family, 6-month-old baby. That's fucking terrible. Holy shit, okay. A few days prior to the wedding, I called the bride and told her the situation and said that my assistant would be stepping in for me so that I could attend to the funeral. She told me to send my assistant to the funeral and that I had better be at her wedding. Okay. Listen here, is what I would have said. I told her I would be sending her a refund and that no one would be coming to her wedding. The groom ended up leaving her after this whole thing went down. Suffice to say, he really dodged a bullet there. Yeah, I can't even imagine. Imagine being so heartless. Like, it could have been like somebody who's like lived to 109 and you can still go to their funeral before you go to somebody you don't even know's wedding. Like, whatever. And they're also like covering their bases. They're still calling you. They're still doing the thing. Like you're lucky that their assistant didn't call you to tell you that already. Ew, what a terrible person. Photographer awarded $1 million after Bridezilla refuses a $125 fee. Yep, that's so nice. I love that. I love that. Karma. Oops, sorry. $125 too, like that's really not a lot in terms of photography. I'm sure this was just like one of those fees, like maybe like an editing fee or something like that, but like $125 to a photographer for a wedding is not a lot of money. Disgruntled bride ordered to pay $115,000 after defamatory posts ruin Chinese wedding photo business. A Richmond, BC woman who saw her Chinese wedding photography business crumble under the viral reach of a disgruntled bride's poison pen says she hopes her personal nightmare can serve as a lesson for others. A BC Supreme Court judge has ordered the angry bride to pay $115,000 in damages for defaming Kitty Chan's now ruined business. Oh dang. Okay, so this lady, this Bridezilla, complained and then now she has to pay $115,000 because of it. That's some Amber Heard Johnny Depp shit. You can't just say whatever you want, okay? There's rules against that. You can't just go out there and say whatever you want. There are consequences.
No, she didn't. She didn't do that. What? Yeah, that's a big no-no for me. That is like the biggest red flag. I'd be standing there at the altar and be like, oh my god, the like alarm bell is just going off in my brain like, what the hell have I got myself into? Can I hug my ex-boyfriend one final time? Like, this day is not even remotely about that guy. Why do you even remember that guy? You know, it's like, why is that guy even here? Like, what is he doing here right now? Like, what? Holy.
Bride was blonde. All bridesmaids except for me were brunette. She asked me to dye my hair brown for the wedding because she wanted to be the only blonde. I suggested that instead I just give up my bridesmaid spot. Thankful to this day since I heard the dresses and bachelorette party cost the other girls more money than I make in a month. Yeah, I can imagine. Weddings are so expensive and people just expect their friends to like spend a pretty penny on some stuff that they don't really want to do or wear. That's the thing too with like letting them choose their own dresses. Then they can choose a dress that maybe they actually would wear again. And then you don't feel so bad that they're spending money. I would still feel bad, but still.
The bride was goth, so she insisted on having her wedding as close to Halloween as possible, which is fine, except that she expected all her bridesmaids to learn calligraphy and handwrite all her invitations. We even got hand cramps and burns on our fingers from having to seal them with hot wax. Dude, what is it about, like, it's just like they're your bridesmaids, they're not your freaking like workers right now, like you're not paying them, you know, like you don't have them under contract, like you've asked them to be your bridesmaids, they're there to help you and support you as you get married, but they're not here to do all your freaking chores and work for you and like learn freaking calligraphy. Honestly, if I ever get married and I have groomsmen and stuff like that, I'm always just like, take me to a football game, like let's get kind of drunk, that's it, like we're good. Ridiculous. The bride kicked the groom's lifelong best friend out of the wedding party because he lived with his girlfriend and she wanted her entire wedding party to be pure. Wait a second, wait. The bride kicked the groom's lifelong best friend out of the wedding party because he lived with his girlfriend and she wanted her entire wedding party to be pure. Never mind that it was her third marriage and that the first two ended due to her own infidelity. Well, marriage number 3 ended the same way, but at least the groom and his friend worked past it and are still best friends. Yo, like, no. And frankly, like, you know what, I want to put this on the bride, and it obviously is. But if you're the groom, and she's doing that, and you're looking at her history and being like, hey, well, you cheated on him, you're kicking my best friend out of my wedding too, this is my wedding as well. No. Big red flags.
I'm a photographer and was working with a super sweet couple. Everything was normal up until when the drinks started flowing. My partner and I were setting stuff up for the reception and the groom comes up to us and asks the DJ if he can play a video for his wife. We assume it's some cute slideshow or something. Toasts happen, then the video starts to play. Turns out the bride was sleeping with the best man and the video was from a private investigator. The whole room went silent, bride runs out, best man goes to follow her, groom's father punches best man out. Everyone else ended up staying and having a great party, super nice people. I ended up shooting the groom's second wedding. Holy shit. That would be like, you would carry that story with you forever. People would be like, what's the craziest wedding story you have? Boom, right there. No worries, you got that one locked and loaded. A video too, at the wedding. Oh, it really doesn't get better than that. That's like what I expect to see on TV, and
God, that is good TV.
she's just living my dream.
It was 10 degrees Fahrenheit in February and the bride insisted on outdoor photos without coats because we can't hide the dresses. Even the photographer told her no and she pitched a fit. Years later, she still complains about her bridesmaids ruined her wedding. How does that, no, lady, like, it's just like, don't have your freaking wedding in February if you wanna, like, get all these nice pictures, you know, that's why people have their weddings in the summer, like, it's wedding season right now, you know, it's like, people like to have them at this time, because they don't want to have them in February, because they don't want to freeze off, so you know what, you did that to you. The bride was blonde and all the bridesmaids were brunette except me. So the bride asked me to dye my hair brown for the wedding because she wanted to be the only blonde. Okay, I mean, like, it's not as, I guess she asked, so it's not as ridiculous as like some of the other ones where they're demanding. It's still stupid and crazy. Like, it's still like, I don't know why your brain would even go there. But like, maybe if you were thinking like, oh, we could take such cool photos if like Like no, you know what, actually no, it's just weird. I was trying to justify it, I'm just like, well, like that's just, you're thinking too much, lady.
Alone, her attitude was bearable. She is a bride after all, except she criticizes every single product I use and everything I put on her face requires a 7-minute mirror inspection complete with criticism. Except when I offer to do it differently, she just huffs and says, I don't have time to fix every little mistake, just hurry up. My trump card, it's an outdoor wedding and it's a super sunny, humid day. Normally I'd waterproof her makeup and apply it carefully so it won't melt. Today, I slapped it on and made sure to use stuff that I know runs very easily. Her photos will need more editing and it will barely hold for 2 hours in that weather. As far as I'm concerned, I don't care if she reviews me badly. I do this for fun and as a favor to friends. It's not my bread and butter. I hope she looked half as melted as I planned her to look. That's savage. That's savage, but honestly. Also, like, why hire a makeup artist if you're not gonna, you know? Like, that's just, I don't know. There's part of me that feels like I would want to do my own makeup if I was getting married, because like when somebody else does your makeup, you just look different. You just look different, and sometimes that's better and sometimes it doesn't feel better because you're used to looking at yourself one way.
My best friend left me out of her bridal party because I was overweight and her mother thought that would limit bridesmaids' dress choices and throw the wedding photos off. That's not your best friend anymore. Is what I gotta say about that. That's literally just not your best friend anymore. Like if that is your best friend, then that just doesn't happen, and it did happen, and I'm very sorry, and wow, they suck. My wife's best friend is a florist, and she gifted her services to her friend's wedding. Well, afterward, the bride and her mom got pissy at her because she didn't give them an additional gift. Let's conveniently forget the $1,000 in floral products she gifted to the wedding. It's a rift that's never been healed. So hold up, they're not even paying? So my wife's best friend is a florist and she gifted her, oh okay, so a friend's wedding, she gifted $1,000 of flowers and floral products. No, why? Like why would you, I mean like that is such an incredible gesture, and then to get, dude, people are so entitled. How could you possibly be this entitled? If somebody literally was like, I'm just gonna give you $1,000 in flowers, I'd be like, oh my god, like you are an angel with 2 halos. You know, like I don't expect anything from you. I'd be getting them something. You know, I'd literally be getting them something as a gift to thank them for that. Like, get out of here. I couldn't attend my friend's last-minute destination wedding because I had to travel to visit my dad, who was dying of cancer, to handle hospice arrangements. She was pissed and tried to guilt trip me because I couldn't afford both plane flights. That was the end of our friendship. Yeah, that would definitely be it for me as well. Like, this is just not a person who, like, this is not a nice person. You know, it's like they have to be the center of attention at all times, and like I get it, like your wedding's very important, but 1, it was last minute, 2, it was destination, and 3, her dad is dying of cancer, and like just literally priorities. You know, like just priorities. Wow.